In the last video, we trained a model using a Django app, and now in this video, we are going to download our predictions. All right, so we have created these two buttons, and when I click on this button, it will download the predictions based on the training that we have done. All right, similar for XGBoost. So let's look at the files. So so if you see, we have got the predictions, right? 0, 1, and uh, we've got the output, right? That's the same thing for XGB as well, XGBoost as well. So let's see how we have done this. So again, we'll see at the how we have created the buttons. It will be similar to our uh, the training part as well. Great. So this is what we need to look at. So what I've done is I've created another form. Now the another form has an action slash predict, and again it has a method post. I've created two buttons and the type is submit. So whenever I submit the button, it is going to trigger this particular action, and this is important because we are going to use it in a Django app. All right, and the next important part is the name here. Now this is quite important because we are going to use this onto our Django app to understand which one of the buttons was clicked. So if you have both XG, it will not understand which button is clicked, and uh, it will trigger different functions, right? So this is what we need to be careful. We need to remember what we are going to click, what the user is going to click. All right. So this is how we create the buttons, and now let's go to our. Okay, before we go to our models.py, we will go to the urls.py. So in the urls.py, we are going to create another path. This path is it's going to is slash predict. This is the so whenever I click on the button, it will go to localhost slash predict, and whenever it goes to that particular location, we are going to tell Django app to run a function called as testing. Now and this particular testing function is defined into our models.py. All right, let's go to our models.py now. Great. So we have already split the dataset in the last video. So let's not look at that. We can directly jump to our testing functions. So this is the testing function that we have created. Now, similar to what we did last time, we are going to see, we have to check which one of the buttons was clicked, and this is how it maps. So if LG was the button that was clicked, then it is going to check for a post response, post request, which we have mentioned it here, and it's going to see and then it is going to execute whatever we have in this particular if statement. All right, so let's look what we're doing. Since in the last video we had saved the models, now we can load the model, right? So I've loaded the model using pickle, and we had already splitted the data set. Now we only need to use the predict function that we have in sklearn, and we are going to use this, and we are going to store our predictions into y.pred. Okay, now since we have to create a CSV file, we can generate the CSV file directly over here. So convert your ypred variable into a data frame, and use the to underscore CSV function to convert it into CSV. We need to pass this CSV file onto our front end, right? This is where it gets downloaded, right? So to do this, we have in Django something called as HTTP response. Using this, what we are going to do is we are going to read the file that we just created, lg.csv. We have the type is of course CSV, and we are going to use this particular response in Django, and we are going to pass this as an attachment, right? So attachment, the file name, which is our lg.csv, and give this as a response to our front end Django, right? The HTML file. So this is how when we click on the button, it gets downloaded, right? So it got 5. Now this is the 6th file that I've downloaded, and this is how it downloads. Now we are going to do the same thing, exact same thing, just changing the values, and we are going to do this for our XGBoost prediction file as well. We are going to load the file, load the model. It will be a different model now, and we are going to use the predict function again on the dataset, convert into data frame, then save it as a CSV file. Use that, read that CSV file, and use HTTP response from Django, and pass it as an attachment, which is your response. Pass that as a response to your Django front end into your front end index.html, right? So these two functions are read using xg and lg, right? So make sure you whatever you put your name here is correct, right? This is how we have to understand which button is clicked. All right. So this is what I wanted to show you in this particular video, how we can download the predictions of our trained models, right? So in the next video, what we are going to see is we are going to see how we can pass the metrics, right? The metrics, the accuracy and the F1 score, right? So it will be similar to how we do our rendering of pandas, but you haven't seen that video. You can look at directly this video. All right. Great. Thank you. See you in the next video.